Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, video game podcast that all E3 attendees listen to.
All of them.
Every day.
Everyone at
Everyone listens to it.
Everyone. My name is Brian.
I'm Lewis.
Amanda.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Katelyn.
You might have heard Manda from the last couple of them as well.
I'm a guest again.
Again. Troy is off doing his awesome thing that he does every single summer, helping out some kids.
Curing the sick, you know?
Yeah.
With humor.
Yes.
Literally. That's literally what he's doing.
Literally what he does, yes.
He's a much better person than the rest of us.
We've accepted it.
We have.
Oh, I had a request.
What's up?
We didn't ask Manda who her favorite dragon is.
My favorite dragon.
We only asked her favorite video game.
That's right.
Oh, that's really easy. It's Flemeth. Oh, no, it could be Tiamat. Oh, that's difficult.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Tiamat.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 5 dragons, so.
So counts.
You know, obviously, she's 5 times better than the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Her favorite dragon is Dungeons and Dragons.
You wouldn't be wrong there.
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. So let's get into what games we've been playing this week. Let's start with you, Lewis, since I know you've been playing all of them.
All the games.
Oh, yeah, all
I
of them?
own them all. No, I after E3 and seeing all the Elder Scrolls Online stuff and Fallout 76, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to download Fallout 76 for this free trial. I did it. I started playing it, and I'm like, I don't care.
It's not for me.
This game is now becoming a real Fallout game because they're adding NPCs, but
They're not in there yet.
they're not even in there yet. So I'm just walking around by myself for hours on end. So then I tried Elder Scrolls Online, and wow, it is fantastic. It looks 10,000 times better than Skyrim. like oh my god, it's Skyrim but just better. And it's gonna hold me off to Elder Scrolls 6 because that's not gonna happen for like 2-3 years, maybe longer.
That's a nice dream.
Maybe
That's
longer.
a pipe dream, 2 or 3 years.
And it helps because certain races that I like dark elves and high elves in Skyrim, they look like aliens.
Yeah.
Like they actually look like weird giant black-eyed aliens, and in here they actually look like elves. They fixed it.
Yeah, they definitely toned it
They
down.
toned
Yeah.
it down. They went, hey guys, maybe we don't have to freak out about it.
Yeah.
You guys played World of Warcraft, right? Yeah, we did. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, take the height tool and just scrunch it, just
Yeah,
a little bit.
Scrunch the face so it doesn't look like, I don't know, they're about to Mars attacks this place.
Yeah.
Calm it down. So that's what I've been playing, and just, playing Days Gone, trying to finish it slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But Elder Scrolls Online, I am loving it. And the fact that I don't have to pay for a subscription, but I can still literally do pretty much everything.
Oh, that's
and there's
cool.
so much to do. If I want extra stuff, I have to pay a subscription, but I don't really care about the extra stuff because there's so much already without it.
Yeah.
When you hit level cap, there's
Is there a
going to
level
be
cap?
there is.
What is it?
I think it's 80.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played 80 plus. What is like lore level? There's
And that's if you
whatever
don't-
that
Yeah.
plus thing.
And that's
where
if you don't
there's-
pay the subscription.
No. There's not a cap based on subscription. I think 80 is the top level regardless, and then you have 300 of those extra levels that aren't levels but are still levels.
Okay.
But once you hit 80, you'll start hitting item management things. And
okay.
and if you buy ESO Plus, you get unlimited inventory space. And if you don't buy ESO Plus, you notice. But that's 100 hours of the game before
That's
you hit
way,
that. So.
way.
Yeah.
It's because my friend Christian, he was playing and he was running around and he saw someone who had level 700.
Yeah.
Like it just said level
That's
700.
insane.
He's like, there's no cap. I'm like, that looks insane, town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, that guy's been playing for a bit. Yeah.
Just a little
Just a
bit.
bit. But no, so I'm enjoying it. It's
Nice.
fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you playing it on the PS4?
PS4, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything else besides PS4 and Switch.
I figured as much. I just wanted to ask.
Nothing else besides those two systems.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. How about you, Zach?
I've mostly been playing Days Gone. Similarly, I'm trying to finish it because I realized I got this game in April and should have beat it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I swear it is I've played 100-hour RPGs, but this is the longest game I've ever played in my life. Just because I think, Lewis, you kind of know what I'm saying. When you're playing it, you're like, this is a game that feels like it should have been like a 20, 30 hour game, but then it's like 80 hours later, you're still grinding trophies.
Yes.
Like, how is this possible? I don't understand.
Like, they do the thing where they don't flawlessly put in side quests. It's you finish a main mission, and before you even leave a camp, you have like 3 people from side quests calling you, hey, come do this, 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 and this. It's like, okay. And it's always at the same exact time. Every time.
But it's the best because that's when you get to hear Deacon talk like a crazy person because he's by himself.
He talks to himself. he's like, oh yeah, Copeland. Well, I'm gonna do this. It's like, what are you doing?
He gets very angry when he's by himself, but then when he's around people, he's just like, what's up?
He doesn't respond to anyone, but to himself, he like says everything he wants to say, like he's going insane. And I'm like, this is an old weird video game thing that they're doing, and I don't know why they're doing it.
Jokes aside, it's weird because for like 20 something hours of the game, it reminds me very much of like what Robert Kirkman always said his vision was for Walking Dead, that he just like wanted to capture like regular life in the apocalypse, and that doesn't necessarily translate to the most exciting gameplay experience when you're just doing runs for people and stuff.
Yeah.
But then like 35, 40 hours into the game, something finally happens where you're like, oh, I care now. Now I need to finish this now. And that's what hooked me. And now I'm like at the end just cleaning up all the hordes and whatnot. So it's a very weird game, but I don't know. I guess I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It just feels like an older game.
I guess I enjoy it.
Yes.
I'm 80 hours in, I guess. Whatever.
I seem to do that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So, do you think you're towards the end of the game, or where do you think you're at in it?
Yeah, there's some narrative things that like I can't walk back from now. But like before I go to the point of no return, I'm going around trying to get, because the platinum's very easy. It's just very time consuming.
Okay.
There's hordes all over the map that I gotta go. It's so much easier to kill now because I have all of the bombs and all of the weapons and stuff. So.
Okay.
I love how not subtle video games are about it when you get to that point of no return. They're like, we
yeah.
don't want to ruin the story for you, but if you want to do anything, I would just highly suggest you don't do this next thing I've asked you to do.
Yeah.
And especially if like that's like the only time they do that throughout the game.
Right.
Like you get to the end of it, it's like, hey, by the way. Meanwhile, you have other games where it's like, hey, you can't come back for a little while, but it's okay. You can continue on. And then you get to the very end. It's like, oh no, I really can't go back now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh man, Red Dead did that.
Yeah.
You hit a point, it's like, yeah, you're finishing. Don't do anything else. It's like, okay, game.
Thank you for the warning.
The cool thing I did like about Red Dead, though, spoilers for anybody who still hasn't played Red Dead at this point, was how you could pick up some side quests later as...
Yeah.
Again, spoilers, stop listening, really, if you don't. As John Marston.
Yes.
And then he just shows up, but then the character talks, oh, yeah, I knew this guy Arthur and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's really cool.
He's like, all right.
He promised to do this thing for me, and then he
Right.
never did.
The bastard.
Jerk, he just walked off, I bet.
Yeah. He's probably just chilling somewhere.
Yeah. With his wife that he used to have. You know?
Oh.
Those games are happy games.
Yes, sunshine.
How about you, Manda?
Oh, I played Truberbrook, which is which I had to write down so I would remember.
Yeah. You just said it, and I still don't remember what it was.
It's Truberbrook.
Okay.
It's a new point-and-click adventure game that just came out. It's from Head Up Games.
All right.
And it looked very like Monkey Island-esque.
All right.
And it has had 2 Monkey Island jokes so far. So
That's a good start.
That's a high bar for an adventure game. I think I'm halfway through it. If I had to guess, it's probably like 10 hours total. It's not very long. And it is set in 1960s Germany. You're like an astrophysicist, and you've won this lottery that allowed you to vacation in Truberbrook, Germany. And then you get there, and then the town's kind of like deserted. And there's like one old lady who still runs the inn, and you're like, why did I win a vacation here? And then the stuff happens, and it's like a sci-fi mystery. It's really cool.
Oh, interesting.
It doesn't seem like it's very long, and the puzzles aren't very difficult, but the jokes are good, and like the characters are nice. So it's a funny game, especially if you liked Monkey Island. It definitely has that kind of humor.
Yeah, and I assume this is on PC?
No, I got it on the Switch.
Oh, it's Switch. Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Visually, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks like the modern Monkey Island games, which is why I picked it up, because I was like, the art style, actually, the main character looks like if you took an American-German version of Guybrush Threepwood.
Oh, very cool. So you're about halfway through. So you're what, 5 hours in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I can definitely see where the loop's going to end. but it was fun so far.
It's
I
fun so
really
far.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Hey, as long as that keeps you going. Sometimes it's the gameplay, sometimes it's the story, and this seems to be like the story, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't very expensive. It was $30, so
Oh,
it
no,
just
not
came
bad.
out, so not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. I'm assuming is that digital that you got it?
Yeah,
Or-
I just downloaded it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I guess I'll go next. I had a trip to Chicago, so I downloaded.
So you played nothing.
No,
What was the trip for, Brian?
the trip was for Pokemon Go Fest. So I was playing a lot of Pokemon Go. But that's not my game of the week though.
What a nerd.
I played a lot of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Like an entire day. I got Jirachi. Haha, suckers. But no, my game of the week actually is I went back and I started playing Crisis Core again. So I forgot a lot about that game. I remember playing it. I remember a lot of the plot points and the beats. But as I'm playing it, I forgot a whole bunch of it. Like I forgot that the game literally starts off exactly the same as Final Fantasy VII. There's a train, you're battling some guys, and then you actually do the same jump off with the same camera spin and everything. And I was like, I forgot about that. I don't know why I did, but I forgot about this. And it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, since I forgot so much, it is like I'm playing it for the first time. And I'm going through it, and I'm about a little over 10 hours into it right now.
Okay.
And I got to this one point where there's a guy you get lumber from, and so he's like, hey, in order to give you this lumber, I need your help naming a bar. I'm building a bar in the slums, and I just need a good name for it. And so it like gives you a selection of names, and like one of them's like Bar del Sol, a couple other ones, and there's like Seventh Heaven, which is the name of the bar that he's building. So then I was like, all right, obviously I'm going to pick Seventh Heaven. So I hit Seventh Heaven. He's like, you know what? I'm really getting a lot of visions for what I want to do with this bar. And I actually took screenshots of it because it was hilarious. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I could definitely see a bartender there. And then Zach's like, yeah, I know. So I'm here. He's like, yeah, with big bosom and long legs, just a killer figure. And then like cuts back to Zach, and he's like, yeah, I could see that too, I guess. And then it cuts back to him, and he's like, and underneath the bar is a secret room and an underground hideout.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Now that's a perfect slums bar. It would make the perfect base for an anti-Shinra group.
Oh my god.
I was just like, holy crap, this is like the best fourth wall breaking ever. And then like it cuts back to Zach, and he's like, well, I'm actually in Shinra, dude. Like, I don't know. That's the best for that. And he's just like, oh, we gotta go. And I had to I didn't know what the rest of the dialogue was, but it started off with, a big bosom and long legs. And I was like, all right, I have to take a picture of this. Like I'm actually on the plane coming back, taking pictures with my phone.
That's
It was
fantastic.
well worth it.
Fantastic.
I think it was one of the last sequences I ended up playing too before we came here. And holy crap, that was hilarious.
Nice.
But in case you don't know what it is, you still have materia that you have to master, and it's just a bunch of different. It's much more active. It's much more like what it seems like Final Fantasy VII Remake's going to be versus what Final Fantasy VII was. So I don't know. It's good. It's good. I think I'm about halfway through it though, because I think it's roughly 20 hours long if you just do the main story.
Oh, okay.
And then.
What do you mean you're not going to 100% it?
No, because I've done a lot of the side missions so far, and the side missions right now tell me I'm only 13% of side
So
missions.
you're like, nah.
I'm like, nah, I know I've played
I'm
at least a
good.
couple hours of side missions. Nah, I'm not gonna 100% this. But no, that's awesome though. Like I said, it's like playing for the first time. I'm having a lot of fun with the story,
Aw.
the backstory to it at least. So now that brings me to you, Katelyn.
I've played a couple different games. One, I'm back on the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Ever since E3 announcement, which we'll get to later.
Yeah,
I needed to start it back up again and get a little fix in.
yeah, I hear you.
And then also in the same vein as trying to finish some of my backlog before new games come out, I'm going back to the Danganronpa series. So I finished the first one, and I finished the half of the second one originally on my Vita, and then I sold it. So I have it for PS4 now, and I need to finish it on PS4 and then play 3 as well.
You said that's Danganronpa?
I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
It's Danganronpa, but
Danganronpa.
it's probably the same, or
Okay.
Ranpa, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know what either of those
I don't know.
things
What
are.
that is either. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's okay. So essentially, the plot of the first one is you go to this school where everyone's like the ultimate of what they do. Like there's an ultimate gymnastic person, an ultimate chef, an ultimate. Actually, I'm saying some ultimates from the second game, but whatever.
Yeah, you are.
So they're all like the best of their thing, though, going to this like magnet high school.
Okay.
And so you, the second you walk in the door, everything goes dark and you're like in amnesia. And then you wake up and you're all, a teddy bear is telling you, hey, listen, you guys are all trapped in this school. And unless one of you kills someone, you can't get out. The only way to get out is you either need to murder someone and get away with it, or no, that's pretty much it. You have
that's
to
the
murder
only
someone
way.
and get away with it.
Okay.
So and then so students are getting murdered left and right, and you have to figure out what's going on and who does it, because if they get away with it, they can leave, but if you figure out who the murderer is, they die. So
Yeah, it's kind of like a Phoenix Wright almost. It's a visual novel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
so you
what-
have to like
yeah.
get clues, and so then at the very end of each murder, there's a trial where everybody has to agree on who actually did it.
Okay.
Oh,
I wasn't
cool.
sure as to what type
And
of
then
game
once
it was.
and then once you decide who did it and it is them, then you get to see their death scene, which is always like a
The best.
it's always like the best. Yeah, like one of the guys, it was he's a motorhead. He's like the #1 mechanic or whatever it is, or auto driver. And his death is like a car just running him over. It's always tied to what they're the best at. And as far as you know, you yourself, you're just an average student. So you don't understand why you're here.
yeah, you don't remember what your ultimate thing is. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
What does it look like visually?
An anime.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay,
looks like
okay.
an anime.
Yeah, it's
Interesting. Yeah.
cell shaded, and the bear, as she said, it's a
Yeah.
stuffed bear. It's Monokuma,
He's the
because half
best.
of it's white, half of it's black.
Oh, okay. I think I've
it's-
seen a picture of
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
and you've definitely seen one of the chicks
yes.
from it,
Yes.
which is like giant pink hair, and it's like comes down like in curls on the side.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've definitely seen that. So, and then that's the first one, and then the second one's roughly the same. It's got a little bit of different mechanics.
But so it's instead of being trapped in a school, you went to the school and now you're trapped on an island.
Oh.
And so it's pretty much going through the same thing again.
Yeah.
I'm only a couple deaths into it, but yeah, I'm excited. Like I know how they all end, but at the same time I don't remember how they end.
Yeah.
Like I remember who's like I remember like the ultimate thing at the end, but I don't remember the steps to get there.
Gotcha.
So
Right.
it's good.
Yeah, and then if you don't want to play through the game, there is an anime they made out of it,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, fun.
exactly the game.
Yeah.
It's just they took the game, they even took the death scenes from the game and just animated it. Like
Yo,
even like
I'll watch
and
the
just
anime.
put it in
Yeah.
HD. The anime is fantastic.
Yeah?
If you
Alright,
don't want to
awesome.
have to go through the game,
I've played it a few times at the store. It's really good.
That's what I'll do then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah.
And then I hate myself. So after the E3 again, I bought Fallout 76, and I've been playing that. And let me tell you, I'm having fun with it.
I commend you.
I'm having fun with it.
I commend
However,
you.
not a great game.
No.
No, not after you played Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas that are actual, fully fledged games.
Well, I'm having fun with it, but at the same time, like, so a thing happened, and I was supposed to trade with a character the other day because he was being nice and going to give me some water and food because that's counted in
And
the
then
game.
what happened?
And then I couldn't figure out how to actually trade with him because the buttons on the bottom didn't tell you anything that helped you. So he kept trying to be like, accept my trade, take this crap.
Did it kill you?
No, but eventually he just walked away because he was done with my shit.
He was
Because
dead.
I canceled the trade like 4 times by accident. And yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't kill you.
Yeah, no, I am too. He was level like 14. I was level 1.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo.
And then
I might have killed someone.
and then I tried the what do they call it? Nuclear war? No. What is
Nuclear
it?
winner?
Nuclear winner.
Yeah, nuclear winter. I tried that out and also died very quickly. But that one I had more fun with.
Okay, that's the PvP.
That's
portion?
the
That's the battle royale.
that's the battle royale.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's only 52 players though, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly. Right?
It's 52 players and you're in a team of 4.
There aren't
Okay.
76 players.
No.
Oh,
that would've
would
been
have been, that would have been great. That would have been smart.
You know, they probably tried.
It looks like we
like,
can't.
it's
We
too much.
can't.
Yeah,
we
Too much,
can't.
guys.
Their server's like, nah, bro. And they're like, all right, so 52.
It's like,
You're
good number?
fighting to be overseer of Vault 51, so they should have figured
Oh.
out something there to do. But
I don't know. It was 52. So 51 people die in order.
oh
for
yeah,
that
for you to
one
be the
person.
person.
In order
To be,
for one
okay, so
person,
there we
yeah.
go.
Oh,
They
nice.
probably just made up that lore because that's all
Yeah,
their
for
servers.
sure.
That's all their servers could do, and they're like, Vault 51.
Oh.
That's interesting. You know, it's funny when you said I hate myself. I thought that was the name of a game.
Yeah.
Oh
Honestly, that would be the name of a game.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
That sounds like a thing.
Let's get on that right now.
Yeah.
Brian, go.
Brian,
You're the
program.
programmer.
Oh, done. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I'll come up with music, video, audio,
I believe in you.
all of it. Although I did apply to become a developer for Playdate, which is the hand crank one.
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
really?
Yeah, so I just filled out the survey for that.
Oh, I can't wait to
That
play
would
your
be
game
cool.
on that.
I would love to develop a game.
That would be dope.
So yeah, nice week of games.
Nice
there,
Yeah.
guys.
games, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually a little bit more because our last podcast was before E3. But yeah, nice. Nicely done, guys. And by the way, welcome back, Zach and Lewis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
You guys were missed.
I've been
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, it was just me and the ladies.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
It was all ladies last
I
week.
listened. It was a good old time. Good old time.
Just a whole bunch of females.
A whole bunch of women and Brian.
Yep.
There was
No, no.
giggling. There was lots of giggling.
Yeah.
There was.
Brian's a giggler.
Joe had an
That is-
existential crisis.
Yeah.
I think she's still suffering from.
Yeah, she just keeps looking at me going, why am I still married to this? It happens daily.
That's not a crisis. She understands that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
The life insurance policy is not high enough yet.
We don't have a life. Oh, wait, we do.
Like, no, Brian, we do. Come on.
You don't know about it, but I do. That's all that matters.
Yep.
So let's, I guess we'll get to E3 since this is
Yes.
This is our
that
first-
sweet E.
actual post podcast. So I guess we'll start with, I only have like one little bit of news, which was Amazon laid off a whole bunch of their game
I
developers.
saw that.
Yeah, I can't think of anything Amazon's ever done for a video game.
Neither-
And that's my
neither can
fault.
I.
So far, I'm going to preface this with, I can't really talk about this, obviously, because it's I signed an NDA, but I have been playing New Worlds, which is their new game that they're supposed to be coming out with, which is an MMO. It actually looked really good. The gameplay was okay. Like, I can see where it was going with it. But the look was fantastic. They definitely had that down. They had the server technology down and stuff like that. But I guess it just wasn't progressing correctly.
I didn't
for
know
them.
they were doing an MMO. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's hard. It's a
yeah.
hard industry to
It
break
is,
into.
yeah.
It definitely is.
Especially with an MMO with so many popular ones out there already.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, we're gonna make one. I mean, we know all those really huge ones exist, but here's this.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
But so I was kind of sad to hear about that, especially because I had been playing it. But I do understand it because, like you guys said, breaking into the MMO game is rough.
And expensive.
And expensive.
Yeah,
Very
it's- yeah.
expensive. Even if you have Amazon money, it's expensive.
I'm
It's
surprised at how many
nonstop.
companies like start with an MMO.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna make this new company and we're gonna do an MMO. And
It's
like, no,
ambitious
you-
as hell
Yeah.
to
want
do
a
that.
little platformer first or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at
Mobile
least,
game?
At least with like a regular game, it's like, oh, we put it, we're done for a bit. But with
Yeah.
an MMO, it's just constant update and work.
Yeah, I think it actually started out as a back end system in order to show off what you can do with their servers. With Amazon servers, you can put more in, you can do this, you can do that. And I
Right.
think as they were doing that, like, oh, we can just do a game off of this. Like,
Yeah,
let's just develop a game off of it, and then
We can make it work.
yeah, we'll see how it is. We see how that works out now. But that was roughly the outside E3 news or outside the conference news that I really have this week. Didn't seem to be too much considering, I guess, what's going on.
Right.
So let's go conference by conference, see what we enjoyed, any sort of gameplay trailer stuff that we had coming out.
Yeah.
So we'll start with EA Games. I really enjoyed the Star Wars Fallen Order trailer, or their gameplay, I should say, but I was not like highly enthused by it, to be honest with you.
That's because you didn't want Jedi.
Fair, but
Yeah, you did. I remember you saying that.
yeah, I did. But upon seeing the lightsaber, I was like, oh, this is really cool. But then like seeing it slash through them, like at least with like Force Unleashed, when you hit somebody, it didn't like leave a visible trail of like going across their body.
Oh.
It's like, okay, I guess this is just, I'm just knocking down life. Whereas this, you see a visible trail, and it's like with Stormtroopers, they go down in one hit, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you have another guy with the vibroblade, and you slice him Darth Maul style directly across the waist. You see the mark left, but he's still just walking like
It's
nothing
like, that's
happened.
not how
yeah.
a laser
Yeah.
sword works,
It's
sir.
like you either go all the way or you go none of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to be kind of like the Musashi Warriors for PlayStation 1. I think that's what it was. I can't remember now. But it was like, if you can do one hit kills if you really wanted to. I don't know. That was kind of lame for me.
Let's be fair. The real MVP of that trailer was the droid.
Oh, yeah.
R2D2 with legs.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Fair enough. Yes. Anybody else have anything that was exciting for them for EA? Yeah.
I don't think
that's
exciting,
it.
unfortunately, with EA.
I don't like their format.
I-
Out of all the
Yeah.
conferences, there's the one that gets like under my skin because it's like we're gonna sit and have a casual conversation where everything we say is scripted, and I was like, if you're gonna script everything, just do what Nintendo does and come
Yeah.
out with a video. Like, don't make me sit and watch you have a conversation that neither of you were enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say for the trailer for Fallen Order, I wasn't like you, I wasn't particularly impressed because it didn't look that much different from Force Unleashed in terms of what they were trying to do. They're like, oh, we're gonna try to stay away from a hack and slash type of game. And in watching that trailer, I'm like, it looks like a hack and slash type of game, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And I get they don't want to show, like dismemberment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, at least still allowed those types of one-hit kills then, or, or just don't show anything then. Like,
Yeah.
I would be perfectly fine if they just didn't have the orange glowing where you hit them exactly. And then nothing happened.
Maybe they explain it.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, maybe you're hopeful.
Yeah, that guy doesn't have a spine. That's why.
He's one of the last Jedi. Maybe he just didn't make his saber properly.
Oh,
Ah,
No, they have
yeah,
new
for sure.
armor now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's made of unobtainium.
Yeah.
sure. It's made out of the same stuff they made Captain America's shield out of.
There you go.
Yeah.
Vibranium.
Disney owns both of them now.
They do.
So it's possible.
It's possible. You're gonna see Steve Rogers just out of nowhere. Just
Nice sword, kid.
he's the true enemy.
He is the villain.
You from Queens? But okay, so EA games,
Yeah.
it is.
Meh.
It is
Yeah.
what it is.
We're all like, what? Give him like a C. Give him
Yeah.
a D. What are we?
I get,
See, wow.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I just wasn't impressed.
it wasn't that big. They weren't the big ones there.
No, and also the way that they did their format, like Manda said, like it was 30-minute segments for each one of their games, which I don't need to tune
Really?
in for like
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
hours.
That's a lot.
Also,
of
like,
time.
Yeah.
I don't think
Too
I'm
much time.
that big into EA because EA does like the Madden and the FIFA, and I get that they did announcements about those and those were huge, but that's just not my thing.
It's
So
not
Yeah.
my thing
Yeah.
either.
I feel
don't-
bad being like their conference was bad, but at the same time I was like, sports
It
games
wasn't.
are
It wasn't for
stupid.
you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for
I've
me
always
either.
felt like the people who are into sports games are probably going to buy them anyway. And
Right.
They're not necessarily the type who are going to be like tuning into E3 all week long kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's-
They're gonna see the game.
they've
and they'll
always
buy
been a
it.
weird
Yeah.
one.
absolutely. So yeah,
No, but for their conference to be that long and Square Enix's was not that long, despite the huge announcements they had.
well, it wasn't like a conference. It was much more like a whole bunch of state of plays type
Yeah.
of thing. Like it was
so
just little
weird.
mini things
So
Yeah.
weird.
that I wish I'm with man. I wish they would have just
Made a
pre-recorded
video.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made a video.
That's all they had to
Nintendo
do.
Direct it.
Everybody just can do it direct now.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, hey,
It's
it's
the smartest.
effective. It's effective.
it definitely
Cheaper.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So that brings us to Microsoft. Anybody have any cool stuff from Microsoft that you don't want to talk about?
Should we just open up the gate with the big thing of Keanu Reeves?
You mean,
I had to, Joe. I'm sorry.
listen, you're breathtaking.
Yeah.
It was the best.
I really enjoyed how happy he was. Like,
Yeah.
he came out on his
Is-
stage and he was just so enthusiastic that I was just like, the whole conference could have just been him talking to the audience and I would have been okay.
Yeah.
I feel like after that,
yeah.
everyone else was trying to top Keanu Reeves.
But you can't.
You can't. You can't do it. You know?
My favorite story I saw was somebody apparently tried to leak that and just nobody believed it.
Yeah.
They're like, why would Keanu
That's
Reeves
true,
be
yeah.
We're like, why would he show up? That's dumb. That doesn't make sense. It's like, really? Makes all the sense now.
The other detail that's got me excited, I read after the fact, is they said Keanu Reeves has the second most spoken voice lines out of any character
Yes.
in the game. So
Yes.
he's going
Yeah.
to be heavily featured
Yep.
in this.
And in an interview I saw, he said he can't say much, but he still has more recording and work to do. So he still has more stuff that he has to do.
Yeah,
for the
he's,
game. And I'm
and-
like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I read a little bit about what his character's backstory is in the game, and he's a lead singer of the huge, like the biggest band in the world.
Do we get to hear him sing?
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh,
I hope so.
Oh.
I really hope so.
I'm excited.
I'm
Yeah.
ready for that.
I think my favorite takeaway from that was somebody I think I read a tweet or something like that where somebody was like, yo, how many dogs do they kill in this game to get Keanu Reeves to be in it?
I remember, that was great.
It's pretty fantastic.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
No, but that is my favorite part of the Microsoft thing.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty great.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that game. Witcher 3 ended. I was like, all right, cool. Next game. And then I saw it was like the smallest teaser that they showed forever ago. I think it was just like an image that they showed, and it said Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, I don't know what this is or what this means, but let's do it every day.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm hugely looking forward to it. Hugely. And especially because it comes out in less than a year.
Yeah, man. Like,
crazy.
wow.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I
hopefully.
was really surprised.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But you know what? If they do delay, I wouldn't even be upset.
No.
No.
Not even. I'd be like, okay, take your time.
No, early next year is jam-packed.
Yeah.
Like, jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I'm looking forward to. I'm frustrated it's taking so long, but Ori and the Will of the Wisps I think looks fantastic.
Yeah, I
The art
heard.
style of that game is insane.
I heard it had one of the longest lines to play at
Mm-hmm.
E3 because so many people wanted to play it.
I believe that.
Yeah. No, that looked awesome. I also saw that they announced some new Sea of Thieves stuff, which is pretty good for everybody who still plays it, like the 10 people.
All 5 of them.
Yeah. The 9 more that are still playing Fallout 76.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that just means less people to nuke my house encampment thing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's called
Is
a
that-
camp. But
Is that what your level
I
1
don't
thing
remember-
is called?
Yeah, I don't remember what they officially call it. Listen, right now it doesn't even have walls, so
Can't put walls around that game. Can't even put NPCs in that game.
eventually, Brian.
Eventually, yeah. But yeah, I thought Microsoft had a pretty good conference. They announced their next software or hardware as well, which is going to be launching next winter. They didn't really do too much about it, but it was kind of like the PS5 where they're like, it's going to have an internal SSD, so it's going to be super fast loading times. So we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes down.
See how that goes.
They did have some bad news though.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like that they acquired Double Fine.
Oh,
I was
that's
really
right.
sad about it. And then I like sat down and had like an existential crisis because I really like Double Fine and I was like I can't buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
But if Tim Schafer's only at Microsoft, then I'm gonna have to. And then it like dawned on me that I don't because they sell other games on their PC. And I was like, oh, I have a PC, I'll just buy it on a PC. No, that's fine. In that case, I totally support them owning Double Fine because now Double Fine gets more money, and I'm okay.
Yeah, it was pretty great seeing Amanda's like thought lines in like real time. Because I was with my friend's birthday up in Orlando, so I'm just getting these texts from Amanda. It's like, no.
Yes, nonstop.
Just
Just
like, what's going on? And it just says, Double
Going
Fine.
through
And I
the
was
thought
like,
process.
and then her realization, oh wait, never mind.
I'm
PC.
fine now.
We
was
had the
pretty
same problem watching that conference. We were like, oh, do we need an Xbox? We don't need an Xbox. And then we're like, no, Game Pass for the PC? Yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
which
That's
is the other
fine.
thing
That's
they announced. They announced the PC or the Game Pass Ultimate, which is the PC one, the Xbox One, and it includes Xbox Gold. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not going to have a use for it because I don't have an Xbox, but
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen for me.
but for everybody who actually uses it, who has all those things, that's probably a great deal.
Oh, it's
I don't know
awesome.
if it'll stay this price, but the PC Game Pass is only $5 a month.
Really?
That's
Oof.
insane
Wow.
for
Yeah.
what you get for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Considering that everything is on Xbox and PC day one at this point.
Wow.
The only thing they haven't brought is the Master Chief Collection, and that's scheduled to come out like periodically throughout the rest of this year, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
Yeah, and then they also announced, the Halo Infinite is going to be a launch title for their new console.
With the most disappointing trailer.
I gave
was
up
okay.
after Halo 4. I played Halo 4, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Thank
Big
you, though.
shout out to Elden Ring.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
yes.
I know nothing about the game still, but I don't care.
I know nothing, but
it's
I
Miyazaki.
Hey,
It
as
looks
long as we
fantastic.
as long as we don't have to worry about as long as we don't have to worry about George R.R. Martin writing anything, we're fine.
Very true. Very
I
true.
heard it's going to be Dark Souls-like. Like
It
it's
is,
going to be
yes.
punishing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it's from software.
But
It's
still-
from
But
software.
still open world. And I'm
Yeah.
like, every day, please.
Yeah.
Feed me.
Directly into my veins.
2 years from now.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I just
It's so far from now.
What's up?
Can I do a quick shout out to how annoyed I was by Age of Empire 2? Because when it first started, it was like, it said something about, the long-awaited title. And I was like, Fables? Are they redoing? And then it was like, Age of Empire 2. And I was like, oh.
When it came up Age of Empires, I was like, oh, they're making a new one? And I was like, no, it's just the same one. It's just the same one. And I was watching it and I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the trailer, I was like, actually, that game was really fun.
Yeah,
How
no,
much was it? How much was it?
My money?
Yeah, all of it. The next one after that one was Bethesda.
Yeah.
I felt bad. It felt like Apologies the Conference.
It
like
really
the whole
did.
But with no apologies.
No,
Yeah.
like everything was subtly an apology.
Yeah.
Like the two guys they had come out and talk about 76 were like the two most adorable men they could find. I was like, you can't be angry at these guys.
They
Look
were
at these
trying
guys.
so hard. And then they were like, oh, look at this cool Fallout 76 stuff. And it's like, oh, you mean look at this cool stuff to make Fallout 76 a Fallout game?
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, took you a while? I don't.
I did like in the little, because Bethesda always opens with like, oh, here's all of our people that work at Bethesda Studios. And I do like, one of them was like, and if you don't like what we're doing, you let us know.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. I did kind of feel bad though because they pretty much got upstaged by a concert that Square
Oh,
Enix was
yeah.
putting on at the same time, where they did two kind of big game announcements. Or not game announcements, but one was a game announcement, the other one was a DLC. But like that shows you what Bethesda was like. Like you got upstaged by a concert.
I downloaded their card game.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
It's like Magic, but with 2 lanes instead of 1 lane. I can't really tell any other differences. But, I mean, if you like Magic, it's
You'll
free.
love this.
It's on
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah, fair
Oh,
enough.
it's free?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I
free.
didn't know that.
The highlight of their show for me was Tango is not making Evil Within 3. They got a new project, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked cool.
Ooh, that looked beautiful.
As much as that was beautiful, the lead into that was even better because
Yes.
that lady.
I
Was,
have her name written down, but I can't pronounce it.
I
Good.
can probably let me see.
Nakamura.
It's somewhere there. It says
It's
protect
somewhere
her at
there.
all costs
It's
next
someone
to
to
it.
figure it out.
Oh yeah, Ikumi Nakamura.
Okay.
It looked. She was great.
Yeah.
And she made that hype for that
I
game.
think she's actually
Fun.
creative director,
She-
which is weird because Mikami came out, but he was like, "Yeah, this is my studio." But
She's the art director, creative art
director,
director.
okay.
Yeah. She does in charge of all the art and animation and stuff like that.
Her description, she's like, it's a really spooky game.
I've been saying that since then, every single time, because when I was at Pokemon Go Fest, one of the things was Spooky Forest. So I just come and going, it's spooky.
Her description, it's like, for some reason, you make the game so much better than it is. And it looked a little spooky, but she just made it so fun. It's like, cool. Scare the hell out of me.
I don't even know what you're introducing. I want to see it
It's like,
though.
I want to see that spooky stuff.
And then the trailer ended up being actually pretty cool, even though it's purely just a teaser trailer. We don't see any
Yeah.
gameplay, no nothing,
Yep.
but it got me interested in it.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
Especially the visual of the 3 people at the end,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
where I was just like, oh, this looks like Big Trouble in Little China.
It
Let's
looked-
do
But
this.
good.
Really, it looked really cool, and it got me excited because they kind of hinted at like an open world thing, and it looks creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looked
and
awesome.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Evil Within people, let's do it.
Thank you, Ikumi. Any other final impressions before we go?
I'm really excited for the stupid mobile game Commander Keen.
Oh God,
Oh,
no,
No,
Katelyn.
I'm good.
I'm allowed to be excited.
No, you're allowed to be.
to be, but that doesn't mean.
That doesn't make you right.
Yes.
Deathloop looked cute. Cool.
Oh, actually, yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
did look interesting.
It looked cute too.
It looked adorable. You know, they were like
I-
butchering each other.
yeah, it looked depressing.
It looked depressing as hell. Like, they're going through some real stuff.
Deathloop.
Ew.
That game would be really cute if they were like chibi.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, yes.
That would, I don't know, that would make it a little better, maybe. Huh?
That would be awesome. I
Yeah,
agree.
but it does look interesting because I'm curious to see how it plays or what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. So that brings us to the PC gaming showcase. Katelyn, did you write down any of the news? for
No,
that?
the only other one I have is digital. Digital Devolver.
Oh, Digital Devolver?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Digital Devolver then.
Okay. I love their conferences because they're like not conferences.
Yes.
And I loved how this one was knocking off on the Nintendo Direct so well. Because there's a storyline that transfers with each of their directs, and so the end of the last one, the lady died. The beginning of this one, they brought her back RoboCop-like, and then she's going through, but then they're like hacking her brain at the same time, and it's great. But nothing really great came out. Well, they didn't have much come out, but what they did have came out was very Devolver-like.
Yes.
Because they had a Devolver bootleg, which was shadow dropped.
Yep.
You could get for 1% off on Steam. And it was a knockoff of their other games. So there's like Enter the Gun Dungeon,
Enter the
Hotline.
Gungeon.
Yeah.
Come on,
Well,
Gungeon, get it together.
Gungeon's the real name. The
Yeah.
knockoff is Gun Dungeon.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't realize that you were doing the knockoff
Yeah.
games. My bad.
Then
my bad.
there's Hotline Milwaukee. There's Ape Out Jr.
Nice.
There's Shooty Boots. There's Super Absolver Mini Turbo Fighter Championship.
Nice.
Cats Sylvania.
What?
Piku Biku Ball Star.
It's like Castlevania, but with
I
cats.
figured. I just didn't want to accept it.
And Luff Trousers.
Well, that's the winner.
So there was $4.94 on Steam because it was 1% off.
Nice. You know, I respect them so much.
Yeah.
Like every single year, it just gets crazier and crazier.
Wait, super random. What?
Shoot.
Where did the game 12 minutes? Like what?
That was in the Microsoft conference, and shout out to that. It's coming soon, and it looks dope.
Okay, no, yeah, I didn't mention it, but that game looks awesome.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
In case you don't know what it is, 12 Minutes is a game that's actually been in development forever.
I can understand because it looks really complicated.
It was actually the last shown at E3, I think 2015.
Oof.
And the guy who was interviewing was like, "Hey, when do you think this is going to be out?" It's like, "Oh, probably within the next year." 4 years later, 3 or 4 years later,
Here we
whatever
go.
it is. Here it is, and he expects it to be out within a year. But now he has help. He has a lot more. If you look at the screenshots between the two, is definitely being upgraded with like the lighting engine and
Right,
everything
right.
else.
It looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful though, but it's basically just a time loop. It's
Yeah.
12 minutes of, but the guy remembers it in between every single time, and he's basically trying to prevent like his wife dying and everything else going on.
Yeah,
so.
he plays the same 12 minutes again and again, and he learns different. You remember every time, so he's trying to figure out how to stop this thing from happening.
Yeah.
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Except 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
And it's torturous.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They did an interview with him, and they're like, it actually expects it to take you between 8 to 9 hours to play.
Oh, wow.
So the
Ooh.
same 12 minutes for that long, it's like,
Wow.
this has got to be a lot to
There has
this
to be a
if,
lot,
if
yeah.
that's what he wants. So.
Yeah, it seemed very varied. Like
Yeah.
all of the different
Yeah.
endings or bits of scenes that
Fascinating.
you saw. It was like, well, that couldn't have happened if that other thing happened, and there was a lot of those. So
Oh,
I could see
yeah.
it being
And
really
it got
engaging.
me really excited. They didn't have a release date, right?
No,
I
it just
don't
said
know.
coming soon.
Yeah.
That one I
hate
specifically
those
looked up.
words. I hate those two words. Coming soon.
No, they could have said in development, which basically means
Oh.
like never.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we got that.
Yeah,
We
we'll
got-
get-
we'll
we'll
get
get
there.
We'll get there.
So then let's go to Ubisoft, which I'm going to do a quick shout out for Troy since he's not here, but he
Yes.
is highly looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion. That is,
They surprised the hell out of me.
Yep.
yeah.
That Watch Dogs.
We all watched the first half of that conference together.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had watched, like, I had clipped through the first 11 minutes beforehand before we all watched it together. So as we're watching it, you guys are like, "Oh, maybe it's going to be this," and I'm just like, "Oh, just wait for it. Just wait for it. It's going to get so much better in a second."
You knew. You were like, oh, you guys are going to get real excited in a bit.
Yeah, the fact that your guy dies and it's like permadeath, and you're like,
What?
"What? Huh?
I remember everyone.
What?
I
Huh?
was like, wait, what?
What's going on?"
And then the little character selection came up,
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
and it was beautiful.
The old granny you got to protect.
Her climbing over that like chair rail.
It was so real. It was so real. So real.
I loved her like running waddle
her
granny
little like
thing.
waddling, and then just like kicking the nuts, and then like punching the face.
Taser.
Taser right there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And that's what I meant by you can play any NPC.
Yep.
Yeah, Troy was texting me about this before I came over here because he was like, I need to know what your game of the show was. And he told me, and I said, it looks great, but I'm being skeptical, like cautiously so, because I'm like, anything this ambitious, I'm like, where's the catch? Like, there's got to, I feel like somebody was like, I want to know how many voice actors are in this game because that's going to like clue me a lot. But then they said, well, we have a whole bunch of voice actors, but we pitch modulated a whole bunch of them to give different varied voices.
Which is nice.
But then everybody's supposed to have their own intro mission. Well, how varied are the missions going to be before they start to be similar-ish
Right.
or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still excited if I'm going to play it.
No, for
awesome.
sure.
But like, how expansive is it really going to be? And then because Troy was just like, but this could be the one, man. And I was just like, I hope so, dude.
I mean, I think Troy said it, or one of us did, that they had said that there's going to be over a dozen different personalities.
Yeah, I told you guys that
Yeah.
because they interviewed the guy and they're like, yeah, there's supposed to be over a dozen different personalities, which I'm assuming those also have different intro missions as well.
Yeah.
And then with those personalities, they also have whether they are more gruff, more kind-hearted, that type of stuff. So
Which is really cool.
yeah.
I'm going to be doing an all granny speedrun.
Do it. I'm gonna be picking the people that are useless. I want to have a team of the worst.
There's gonna be a team of Lewis.
Yeah.
That's not funny, Brian.
How dare you say that? He's our friend. Ish. But no, I think Watch Dogs definitely took the cake with Ubisoft.
Oh, for sure, man.
There's been lots of memes since then of the Queen of England as being an NPC.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
That'd be done.
That would be awesome.
Elton John.
Oh my god. You think?
Yeah,
He's a sir.
But he's a sir, and then like he has like a jetpack, so he can be the Rocket Man.
Oh my god. Done with you, Brian.
That's his code name.
Yeah,
The Rocket Man.
but I think it's interesting though, especially because it's supposed to be like post Brexit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they started this right when Brexit was first announced. So it's like,
And that happened, and like, oh guys.
yeah, they're just like as they're developing the game, they're like, yo, do you think they're taking cues from us or the other way around? What's going on here?
What's happening?
Any other news that you guys want to talk about from Ubisoft?
The
Ubisoft is
Punisher,
weird.
the Punisher guy. What's his name? Shane.
Oh yeah,
His dog
Shane.
was really cute.
Yes. it
Oh
was.
yeah, for
His real name's not Shane. That's his Walking Dead name. Whatever.
the Tom Clancy game.
Yeah.
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 Breakpoint.
No one knows because the doggo was too cute.
It was.
Because
Yeah.
the doggo came out and you were like, ah, and then like the trailer's over. What trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, all we saw was the dog.
Bring back the dog. Why do we get off the trailer? The dog was like so shy too. It's like hiding behind his shoe. Were you gonna say something, Zach?
They didn't talk about Division 2 at all, did they?
Yes.
They did.
They did?
They did a little bit. They were talking about the new raid that they're going to be having.
Okay.
And the new year one content that's coming up.
I played a bit of the trial this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Because they had a free trial.
Yeah.
For the weekend, and I played it. I'm like, oh, I enjoy this more than I enjoyed the beta for some reason.
Yeah, they definitely tweaked some things. They've definitely helped it out a little bit. I haven't played it in a while.
Oh, okay.
But
and it's on
I'm-
discount now on PSN.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I'm trying to get back into it though.
I was interested in that TV show, The Mythic Quest
Oh,
or whatever, by the Always
I'm
Sunny guys.
actually
Yeah.
very interested in
But
that.
then they're like, it's coming to Apple TV Plus, and I was like, okay, well, I'm never gonna watch this.
they,
then.
they said that, and my thought was, oh, why'd you do it?
For
Come
me,
on.
I feel like that's just an excuse. No matter if it does well or not, they're like, "Well, it's just canceled.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
watching it."
Yeah.
it's because of Apple, not because it's terrible.
because I don't think it'll be bad. I don't think I'm gonna get Apple Plus TV.
no, almost nobody is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So that brings us to Square Enix, which we all watched together in our fancy dress.
Yes, we
We
did.
did. Yeah, dressed to the nine.
It was pretty fantastic.
Indubitably.
And it got me real excited for that Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that
Taste it.
I was so happy at the very end when they showed Tifa.
Oh yeah.
It was the best, especially because they're just teasing it throughout the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, I forget the lead designer. Do you think we'll ever get to see Tifa? Maybe soon.
Maybe.
We're hoping to show gameplay
And
soon.
then they showed a whole lot of Tifa.
Like, as soon as he said that in my brain, I was like, it's gonna be now. It's gonna be within the next during this conference. It's gotta be.
Okay, I have to say something kind of funny. I showed the trailer to my friend Christian, and he was watching it, and bless his heart, she came on screen, and he's like, Yuffie, yeah, Yuffie. He just kept saying Yuffie. I didn't have the heart to say, nah, dude, that's Tifa. You know what? I'm gonna let you have it.
In
Enjoy
his
it.
defense, Yuffie's the one they put in like every game.
You're right.
It's like,
You're
is there a
right. She
generic
was
lady
in-
wearing yellow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're 100% right. So I get the confusion, but it was a little funny.
2 Blu-ray discs still, and it's only episode 1.
Yes. They haven't actually said. I mean, they didn't say episode one,
but-
but this
Yeah,
is
but-
only
yeah.
going to take place until Midgar. But it's
But
going
they
to
said
be
it's big
a
enough for its
full
own game. Yeah,
it's going to be a full
huge
game.
2
Which,
discs, Jesus.
now that I think about it, now that I'm playing Crisis Core and everything, I mean, I said it actually a while ago, to you guys separately, where I was like, it could definitely just be in Midgar, which obviously it is now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of story to Midgar.
And
I mean,
they
you
said
can,
they're adding more.
yeah, you can definitely flesh that out.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about it. 2 discs, that means it'll be at least as big or a little bit close to as big as Red Dead 2.
Yeah, because that was 2 discs.
That was 2
as well.
discs. Yeah, that was like 100 and something gigs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It also seems like they're going like the Final Fantasy 15 route of like, instead of having random battles like every 10 steps, you're going to have just longer fights against enemies, like more meaningful
Oh, man,
fights.
because
Like,
that boss fight.
yeah,
that
the
they
boss
showed,
fight alone looked like it was like 10 to 15
it
minutes
looked
long.
like
Yeah.
it took forever.
yeah.
And then the timer, they set the timer, it's 20 minutes. So I imagine I was like, it's going to be 20 minutes.
Yeah, imagine that. 20 minutes real time. You got
Yeah.
20 minutes or you die.
Yeah, I did love the zoom out of it and seeing Midgar and then seeing the top plates and the bottom plates and seeing all the city. It's like I could probably go everywhere. Like
Yeah.
everywhere that they're showing me, I can probably go. And I could see, like, you can actually see physically, like all the alleyways, all the individual buildings.
They made this huge. They made this already huge game where you can explore a certain amount, but you can explore a lot. And now they're like, oh, but now here's more.
Yeah.
Here's everything. Have fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the wall market. It's going to be amazing.
I'm excited for
I
it.
can't wait to see Cloud in a dress.
And that's
Right? I'm
4K.
I'm kind of glad they're not spoiling that in the trailer.
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm really glad. And that's March, guys. That's right there.
Yep, which I feel kind of bad because,
Oh,
you
God,
know,
Watch
Watch
Dogs
Dogs
comes
is
out 3 days after.
3 days after.
It's so unfortunate for Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I might still pre-order Watch Dogs. I'm gonna get
But-
$10 back and my 20% off, so it'll be $38.
But you won't touch it for a bit,
I'm
man.
not gonna be touching it for a while.
Yeah, for a good while. Now with 2 discs of game? Nah.
What if we all just pretend Watch Dogs comes out in April? We'll all just agree to a different release date,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Yeah,
just
you know what?
act
That
like
makes sense.
that's when it came
Yeah.
out.
That'll click. That makes sense.
Seeing how ambitious that game is, it might still be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
if
might
we
be
get
like,
delayed.
hey guys, April now? Is that okay?
Yeah. I mean, everything's coming out in March or April. Or
March and April.
Yeah, like everything that was announced was either those 2 days or Shadow dropped that day.
Yeah.
Like there was almost nothing in between.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. They showed off a lot of different games during that. I'm not too fond of the Avengers game.
No.
The best meme that came out of that was you've captured you idiots, you've captured their stunt doubles from Spaceballs.
I like
I
like the Spider-Man one too. You guys aren't the real Avengers.
I understand them not using the likenesses of the
of course,
actors.
yeah.
I get that completely.
It's probably way expensive.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah! But when Marvel Ultimate Alliance, when the gameplay in that looks the same of the Square Enix, that's not great because Marvel Ultimate Alliance is supposed to be a little bit more on the animated, cartoony side.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a bad sign, Square Enix. Do better. You announced this game how many years ago?
Yeah. I was okay with the voices and everything.
Oh, the voices
And-
I was fine with.
until they showed them all sitting down,
Yes.
and then you realized, oh wait, this person is that person, that person is that person, and then it cuts back to gameplay, and that's all I can imagine now.
Yeah.
Is their
Nolan
faces
North
on
and
that?
Troy
Yeah,
Baker.
Troy and
That's all
Nolan.
you see.
Yeah, that's all I can see. Is like, oh, well, that kind of ruined this for me, guys. I mean, I get what you were going for because this is supposed to be a voice. This is like an amazing voice cast, but Nah, that did the opposite for me.
Yeah, now all I see is Nolan North as Tony Stark. Like I feel like it's just Nolan North dressed up in like cosplay.
Yeah.
And
And all of their actor responses were all like, yeah, this character is a character and they're really deep and interesting. And we're like, we've watched the movies, we know. Like,
yeah, and
I'm
Troy
like,
Baker's response was fascinating. He's like, yeah, because Bruce Banner is like a really interesting character. It's like, dude, we know that. Please say more. I don't understand.
Yeah. I did like the story, like
They're doing their
what
own
they were
thing.
doing with the story, 5 years after, a bunch of
No,
other
Yeah.
stuff.
Thanos.
Maybe.
They're doing their own like original story, which is great. And they said there's going to be more heroes in the game that we haven't seen yet.
Yep. Well, it has to be because, apparently Cap ain't going to be in it, even though they show his voice actor. So
oh, well, he's in the beginning of the game, but
Yeah,
I
the
don't
beginning.
think he's in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's in the beginning and the end.
I
but
mean,
probably
it's,
not the middle.
I mean, it's like Last of Us, that the little girl in
oh,
the
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, you know how they showed her
voice
voice actor, during the trailer?
Okay, maybe not like that.
Yeah. And then they also showed, the Remind for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Whatever,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't even care.
I give zero.
It's like when they showed like episode Aaron or not Aaron, whatever his name is for Final Fantasy 15. It's like, okay, that's like 2 years old. I get it.
Yeah.
We don't need more episodes of this.
And for the Kingdom Hearts, it just doesn't look like they're doing anything different. It's just like, oh, now you can play as this character, the same story.
yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, but it
What?
might be different. I mean, it might be a completely separate story. It might be
Maybe.
the same story,
I'm not gonna
but
get
it's
it,
through a
but-
different character.
I'm not going to get it unless it's free, but you do you.
Any other thoughts on Square Enix?
Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That
you
announcer
excited
was
for that?
hyped about the game.
Yeah.
They were real excited for
We're
that.
all getting it to play together, right?
Yeah. I mean, I do like Dragon Quest Builders. I just don't see myself playing it for an amount of
I
time.
like the art style.
I play with you, Katelyn.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We know good games.
We got this.
I love the art style.
Zach's going to join us.
Yeah.
We actually, it made us have to buy 2 Switches because I had one. We were sharing one. That was mostly mine. And then seeing that and a few other games that we'll talk about soon.
Like right now.
Yeah, we were like, oh, we probably should get a second Switch.
Guys had to switch it up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be playing on the Switch, even if I did get it. It'd probably be in the PS4.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I played the first one on the Vita.
Same
So I'm
here,
looking
actually.
forward to the Switch. I would much prefer the screen on the Switch.
The
Yeah,
Switch, it plays well. The first one played well on the Switch.
Yeah.
I almost went back instead of Crisis Core. I was almost going to go back to Dragon Quest Builders, but I was like, Crisis Core.
Yeah.
Let me do that. So okay, cool. And then last but not least is Nintendo,
Nintendo.
which I guess there's a new Animal Crossing.
There's an Animal Crossing coming out, Brian. Guess what they talked about?
No, Brian, can you say that one more time? I didn't hear you.
There's a new Animal Crossing, I guess, coming out.
Oh, so they talked about Animal Crossing?
They did.
Yeah, I saw that, and here's my question. What is the hype on Animal Crossing?
Have you ever played an Animal Crossing?
No, but in watching it, it seems like a better version of Farmville.
Oh my!
that's
Don't
so
you dare!
reductive.
I just want to know what the appeal is. I genuinely want to know because nothing about it seems like something I want to spend hours doing.
For our viewers at home, you can't feel the disdain, the disdainful looks that are. But I feel like we just need to relay that to you.
I feel like it's kind of like how people are trying to sell Mortal Kombat to people who haven't played Mortal Kombat before. They just don't. They're just selling it to people who have already played it. So Animal Crossing, it's like, oh no, we're just selling this to people who have played Animal Crossing before. And if you're not in it, you will be.
You will be.
I'm just curious. What about it do you love so much?
Lewis, can you buy a house right now?
No.
Oh, but you know what I can do in Animal Crossing? I can buy a house and I can make it look really great, and I can pay off that house. I'm never going to pay off a house in my life.
So is it like a cuter version of The Sims?
Yes, but no.
But no.
That's closer
The
than
way you
Farmville.
just described it seemed like a cuter version of The Sims.
It's closer than Farmville. but it's still not there. And then you can have a town, and you can make your town nice. This one, it looks like an island, but you can make your thing look all nice.
Like in The Sims.
Well, you don't know what you can do.
You can
yet.
visit other people's things and see their stuff, and then there's like a very competitive fruit trading.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
This all just seems like is it a simulation game?
Yes,
Is
it is
that
a
it?
simulation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, well then there you go.
But it takes place in real time. So like today is such and such day at 11 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Inside the game, it's such and such day at 11 p.m.
So the store's closed. And
Yeah.
you have to wait until
You have to wait
real
till the
life
next day.
tomorrow.
So you have to actually wake up before work tomorrow so you can play it on your Game Boy or your Switch or whatever and buy stuff before the shop closes when you get out of work.
Yeah, and then you can also like catch bugs and do fishing, but depending on the time of the year, whether it's autumn, fall, or whatever, the time of day, what day of the week it is, it could be something different everywhere.
It's like someone mixed a cuter version of The Sims and Pokemon together, because there's definitely like an aspect that's like you have to play with other people and you have to play for a certain amount of time. And
It kind of seems like, hey, you want to do all this stuff in real life, but you can't do this stuff in real life yet. You can do it here, and it's all in real time.
I can make a snowman.
Wait, isn't that all video games?
No, because I can't. No, I'm saying, but like just regular real life stuff, but you can do it in Animal Crossing.
Well, yeah, but
I can't fight a dragon in
but-
real life
yeah,
at
but
any point.
Animal
you
Crossing,
can
you
go
live-
fishing. You can
Yeah.
you can farm stuff.
You don't live
can
next
buy
to
a
an
house.
elephant, though.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
They're all animals.
It's animal.
Everyone that lives in your town is an animal.
You're the only human in the entire town.
Yeah.
It seems adorable. It seems like an adorable looking game.
It is.
You telling me that it's everything's in real time.
Yes.
Just made me go, oh, that seems inconvenient.
Oh, it's
for
very
me.
inconvenient.
It's very inconvenient.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
highly inconvenient.
I would not want to play inconvenience the game.
The last one that came out, I ended up having to change the clock on my 3DS so that the shops would actually be open, because I changed it to be 12 hours difference so I would actually be able to play the game.
Yeah, I think that's how you know you're a professional
Yeah.
Animal Crossing player, is when you start at the town, you're like, wait, when do I get off of work? Yeah, let me just change the time.
Yeah.
Let me change the time on here.
I'm not going to be able to do anything in this game if I leave this when it actually is.
Yeah.
And some of it's our group of friends or just being around the store, because
Yeah.
some things you can only do with other people. So there's
Right.
like the first week that Pokemon Go came out, and there was like that zeitgeist of everyone doing it.
Yeah.
It definitely carries that with it, where you just have so many people playing that is its own game.
Especially in the last game, you could design shirts. And you could, put them on display in the town, and then some of your townsfolk will start wearing your shirt. However, if you give your shirt to somebody else, the townsfolk will see their shirt, and they might be the townsfolk in their town might be wearing your shirt now, and it might continuously go. So you might have your shirt and like, who knows where now. And it's just one of the,
Interesting.
and that's just with the last game though.
Yeah.
It was
So
a
you
new
can make
mechanic.
rude and offensive things, and they'll show up in your friend's town.
I made so many Tate shirts. I made 3 Tate shirts, right? No? Oh, you could do that in other games? All right, well, my wife's telling me you could do this in other games.
She's telling me I'm wrong.
Yes. As per usual. I'm wrong.
You could also write letters to the people in your town, and you can go tell them to burn in hell, and they'd be like, "Thank you for writing me a letter. I'm so happy."
Because they can't read. They
feel
just
like-
see paper.
I feel like I'll play it because I'm getting my little sister a Switch just because she really wants one, and she plays Animal Crossing on the DS, like the old DS. She's gonna get Animal Crossing, so that's how I'll play it, because I can't pay $60 for that game.
Hey, I'm just saying.
It's
Totally.
worth
You're
every dollar.
Every cent.
You're
Is
spending
it?
you're spending $360 for your sister.
No, $200. I'm buying one from a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're still spending $260 on your friend. You can do another $60 for yourself.
Yeah.
Nah. Nah.
Come on.
I have a hard time.
Come on, theater major.
I have a hard time spending $60 on a game that definitely is gonna like just devour my life. Like,
Oh, this game will devour your life. You just
Yes.
don't know it yet.
Yes.
I mean, devour my life in a way that I feel. happy about it.
And you'll be able to play with
and
us.
not confused as to why I've played so long.
Oh no, you're right. It would always be confusing. You're always like, where did my life go? I thought it was
seems
3
like it.
p.m.
You're like,
The
let me just go
descriptions-
check out my town. Oh wait, now it's 2 a.m. What?
And you know how you know that's because you look at the town clock and you go, oh no, this is actually the time it is right now.
When you
no.
choose to harvest oranges rather than going to sleep for your real job because it's so late that you're like, oh no, I just have to do this one thing. Like the priorities in the game start to become more important than your life priorities. That's
I'll
when
hear
it's
about
good.
you guys playing it when it comes out. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you'll want to play it with us.
Especially because if you don't harvest those oranges in 3 days, they won't be there. You have
Yeah,
to, if you
yeah.
don't do it that day and you wait till the next day, you are now behind a day.
You've
And
lost
when
that revenue.
You've lost that revenue. Yeah, it gets intense.
Yeah,
But,
I'll probably never buy it myself, but I'll play it by through you guys.
But again,
Can't wait.
that game comes out next year,
March
March 20th,
Yes.
which is National Happiness Day.
Well, that's perfectly fitting then.
Yep. I'm sure they actually did that on purpose.
I would not
believe it.
doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Did you guys see the announcement for why they were delaying it? That they were going to do it in September, and then they decided.
Oh yeah, because of the crunch, they didn't want people to.
Which
or
is-
was there a different thing?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't
that's
want people to be crunched. Right?
Yeah, they wanted their employees to have lives.
I appreciate that so much.
Instead of fishing and getting fruit all day in the game, they're like, nah, go outside and see your family. And then, so, I mean, it's not this year, Katelyn.
But it is coming out.
It is coming out.
And it was shown.
It was shown. But they did show a lot more of Luigi's Mansion 3.
I'm dope. I'm
That
excited.
looked dope.
Gooigi.
That just sounds so gross.
It does. Doesn't it?
It looked
Sounds
gross.
So gross.
Yeah.
But that game looked like a lot of fun. Like so much fun. And the 8-player
the
multiplayer
the
aspect.
co-op, yeah.
The co-op aspect. Woo, that looked like I can't wait. That
Yeah.
looked-
It
Oh, but that one you're gonna buy, but not Animal Crossing.
yeah.
and-
It's not a life simulator.
I am a little bit disturbed about slamming ghosts against the floor.
Hey, that looks cool.
Like Loki style with the Hulk. Just what?
Did they give a date on that?
No, just 2019.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
Yeah,
this year.
later on this year. Yeah,
Dope. I'm excited for it.
agreed. It looks a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot.
And then I do like how Luigi, there is a drawback to him. So he can do a bunch of stuff that you can't as Luigi, like go through spikes, but you can't go into water because then you melt.
He's
Which is
also
really
disgusting.
cool.
He's
Yeah.
he's also
And it looks so beautiful. The game.
yeah.
It does look good.
He's gorgeous.
He's gorgeous. God. Oh God.
I think you physically hurt Zach with that one.
Probably did. And then they also did they do any more Sword and Shield stuff?
Nope.
Nope,
kind
because
of
they
the
did it
same
that
stuff.
year, the
Yeah.
week
Quick
before.
recap.
Yeah, the week before they showed us everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then they also did show us what was it?
Zelda.
Zelda. Thank
Yeah.
you. Which I feel like I know
There's a
more
lot of
about.
Zelda in this
I
conference.
feel like I know more about the Breath of the Wild sequel than I did of Animal Crossing.
Well, then you weren't paying attention, Brian. They showed you so much in that little Animal Crossing trailer.
I feel like I still know more about Breath of the Wild sequel than Animal Crossing.
The visual of that sequel was so
Oh,
amazing.
The audio
oh
of
my
that.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
haunting. It was haunting.
Yeah.
And you're definitely playing as Zelda at some point.
Oh, for
either,
sure.
either you play as her or she is your companion
For
as you're
sure.
doing this.
That's a part
Yeah.
of it. And when they came out, and because people were saying, comparing it to Majora's Mask being creepy, and they said, "Oh no, this is much darker than Majora's Mask."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and that was already
I'm
messed up.
1,000% in.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
yes, please. Here's money.
I
Oh,
love
man.
how people are figuring out how Zelda is going to be playable because it's like they asked the guy, and before when Breath of the Wild trailer came out, he looked very androgynous. So they're like, oh, this could be a female. And they like Nintendo immediately came out, was like, no, this is Link. This is a male. This is what it is. Whereas this is like, hey, could you play as Zelda? We'll see. Maybe. We may don't know. Does it look like you could play as Shoulder shrug?
That's the best way to do it.
It's like that, and then people were like noticing that she has a haircut, which
Yeah.
would make it a lot easier because otherwise you don't have to worry about clipping with the longer hair.
Yeah.
So you can just be like, it's much easier to animate that.
She pulled a
Oh.
Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of the trailer, obviously, they said, now in development.
Yep.
Which just means
7 years from now we'll get it.
and it's funny because more people I know. My cousin texted me. He sent me the trailer, and I'm like, dude, I saw this already. I saw this day it
I have
happened.
a podcast.
And I saw this day it happened. He's like, oh, I can't wait. Probably next year, right? And I said, no. They said now in development. Yeah, but that would make... No! They showed us gameplay for the first Breath of the Wild in 2014. Gameplay. And we didn't get it till 3 years later.
It's definitely going to be before that. I think it's going to be a lot sooner than you think. I think it's probably going to be either winter next year, or early 2021.
Well, they can build off the old system.
That's where I'm going
They have
with
a lot
that.
of stuff
Yeah,
already
very
done.
true.
Since it's a sequel, you can do that a lot quicker.
Very true. Very true.
But
that.
Majora's Mask it had less than 2 years of a turnaround from Ocarina of Time being released.
Yeah, because it's the same
Or
type
about
of
2
engine.
years, but they took a bunch of the parts from that game to put towards the other game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
see Ganon. Oh my gosh. And we saw him last game, but he was like
But
like an
he
entity.
was like a weird
Yeah.
thing. He wasn't
Like-
Ganon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also saw more than just that Zelda game.
Oh yeah, we did see, what was it, Cadence of Hyrule?
Cadence of Hyrule didn't shadow drop, but it came close to shadow dropping.
Yeah, it was
No,
3
they
days
al-
later,
They also
right?
showed
Yeah.
Link's Awakening.
That looks
And,
great.
Because of the indie games I've been playing on Switch, I am now ready and excited for Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it looks great considering like the camera angle that they chose to use, the blurring effect that they did. So
looks beautiful.
It looks like you're playing a model, like a
Yeah.
model. kit.
Yes, that's what it looks like, and it just looks beautiful.
It does.
Honestly, the animation looks, and I showed it to Christian. And he's like, "Oh, it looks like I forget what it's called. The one that everyone loves with the toon animation."
Oh,
Waker?
Wind Waker.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it looks like Wind Waker." I'm like, "No, it doesn't." He's like, "Yeah, pretty much."
No, not at all.
Do you not remember? And I showed him a picture. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I've never played the game, and I know this.
I will say along that same type of line, the Trials of Mana, which is the remake.
That
yeah.
looks so.
Trials of
looks
Mana
so great.
has the same kind of look where it kind of looks like you are playing like a little miniature, but it's not as extreme as it is with Link's Awakening. And
Definitely not,
That
yeah.
looks fantastic.
And the fighting in it looks.
Well, shout out to them to shadow dropping that in the first place. 'cause
Exactly.
That game
Yeah.
has never come out over here, so
Yeah, and the collection,
The collection, yeah.
yeah, the Secrets of Mana or the Mana collection.
But the
Yeah.
Trials
And
looks fantastic.
I did download. I didn't get far into it because I never played. It's called Final Fantasy Adventure over here, but I popped it on, and it's got like the Mega Man Castlevania treatment, where since the aspect ratio is smaller, they got like the decorated
Yeah.
borders you can change and all that kind of stuff, and it seems really well done. So, 100% worth it if you're interested.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. My wife downloaded it because she hasn't played Secret of Mana before. Or
I've
Trials of
never
Mana.
played any of it before, but that trailer looked
Yeah.
so good. And then they also showed Contra.
Yes, they
They
did.
showed another Contra game. And when I was watching it, me and Joe were talking about, oh, this gives us a Contra feel. Oh, you remember that? Yeah, so good, so good. Then at the end, Contra.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like, yep, there it is. Awesome. And then same day, Contra Collection.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm
Mega
excited.
shout out. I don't know if they actually showed this in the conference. Maybe they did in a montage,
Mm-hmm.
but they're finally bringing the first Ni no Kuni to modern consoles.
Yes.
And that game is amazing.
Yeah.
So close to not needing a PS3 anymore.
Most certainly. Most certainly. And then also they announced the next 2 characters that are coming out for DLC
Oh,
for
yeah,
Smash.
I forgot.
I was shocked they released 2. I didn't think they were going to.
got-
I thought they were going to shadow drop one and then not mention anything else.
I am so excited. I haven't bought any characters yet. I didn't buy the pass or whatever. But Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, I'm gonna buy that.
You save that for the second one
way.
because the first one was Dragon Quest Hero.
Yeah.
I've never
I
played
was
a Dragon
stoked.
Quest
I
game
feel like they
in my
Not even
life.
they keep doing more than they need to with some of these
Right?
characters. Like the rumor forever was Erdrick from Dragon Quest IV, but then the Luminary comes out. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because that's like what I was thinking. But then you get 4 characters in one. I'm
You
like,
get the builder.
Do they get different moves depending on who you play, or is it's just the 4 different skins?
I think it's just you can cycle through the skins.
Because
Yeah.
it looked like the ultimate was all of them, like
Yes,
all
it
of
did.
them
Yeah,
together.
so I think it's just that.
Which I'm sure it is, but I think in order to play as each one of them, I think it's just a costume change
Okay.
in the thing.
I'm excited for Banjo. I love that game. So
I just love that trailer doing the exact
Yes.
same fake out.
Yeah, the troll's
Yeah, it was pretty great.
great. Nintendo knows what they're doing.
Man.
As soon as I saw the troll, I was like, well, here comes the actual announcement.
Yeah.
I just want them to keep adding rare characters so that they have to keep sandwiching the more of them and cramming into the window.
Yes. It's like, nope, look, we still have space. Not really.
Well, there's only one character left, I think, right, for this for his fighter DLC.
Was it
There's
4?
2. Oh, it's supposed to be 5. That's right. Yeah,
5, yeah.
because the Piranha Plant doesn't count.
Well, Waluigi's going to be the last one. So.
He's not.
He's not.
I have a feeling it's going to be the true troll, where it's going to show Waluigi. He's going to show up, and it's just going to be like,
That's going to be
nah.
the next character. They're going to do the Waluigi troll out, and then the last one
No,
will be
they'll
Waluigi.
do the troll, and then they'll just show you a different character.
I'm
Because
going to go with it.
And then like jokes.
Yeah, it's going to
Jokes.
be Link's Awakening Link before it's going to be Waluigi.
You know what? Yeah, honestly, at this point, like they're just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
Because they could release them, but they're just doing it for fun at this point.
yeah, it's going to be forever. Wow.
Wow.
Any other takeaways from Nintendo? Or I think we did pretty much everything.
We did the big stuff.
Yeah.
think
So
Oh,
what was
one
that?
quick question for Lewis. Are you buying Witcher 3 on the Switch?
I don't know.
Let me give you some more info on that first. So news came out afterwards about how it's going to run. If you have it docked, it's going to be running in 720p. If you have it handheld mode, it's 540p.
Jesus.
So it's not going to look very good.
Well, in the image that I saw of it, it didn't look very good.
No.
It looked definitely downgraded.
Is it
Um,
cheaper than the PS4 version?
It might be. I haven't seen
it
the
might
price
or
yet.
might not be because it's the complete edition, so it comes with the 2 DLCs. So it comes with Blood and Wine and Heart of Stone.
Yeah.
So it comes with both of those. So it may or may not be cheaper because it's everything.
Because if it was the same price, you should definitely buy the PS4 version.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for anyone wanting to play Witcher, definitely buy the PS4 version if it's the same price as the Switch
Yeah.
version.
Get the PS4 or the PC version, or
Yeah.
there's an Xbox version, I think, as well, right? One of those. Not,
Yeah,
not,
there is.
Yes,
not,
there is an Xbox
Not
version.
the Switch.
Not the Switch.
Yeah.
Now, if it's cheaper,
Yeah.
then yeah, I mean,
Or if you only have a Switch.
Exactly.
if you
Or
only
if
have
you
a
only have
Switch,
one.
it's a good game. I'm sure it'll still be. It's a great story.
Yeah.
So it just won't look as good.
All right. So, final question for everybody: what was your moment of E3? What was your game? Your favorite thing about it?
Animal Crossing being announced.
Yeah, you think?
Brian being wrong.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'll take that. Mine, even it's got to be Final Fantasy VII remake, and them actually announcing an actual hard date, which is within the next year, hopefully, if that if it all holds out. It's definitely that, and then seeing Tifa in motion and seeing just the world, and you can see how Biggs and Wedge and I forget her name. I'm terrible with names. All of them just being much more a part of the world and actually getting more dialogue than like one line here, one line there. Like actually getting a fleshed out story in Midgar. I think that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. That's my hype moment.
Who's next? Come on.
Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
all the way.
The game or the announcement?
Both. Let's do it. I'm all about it. Yeah,
Okay.
and a hard date for that game too. Hopefully.
Yeah, again, hopefully.
Hopefully a hard date. But that gets me pumped. I'm gonna pre-order it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't feel the
Don't-
same disappointment.
Don't
that I
pre-order
felt
it
with
because
Red
then
Dead.
you're gonna curse it like Red Dead Redemption 2.
And then also Kingdom Hearts. You don't want to do that.
Oh God. Yes.
Zach?
The game I think I will enjoy the most when it comes out is Cyberpunk, but however, that was just a CG trailer and whatnot. So I have to give the credit to Square also for Final Fantasy VII because they didn't just come out to say, "Oh, we're gonna just tease you with more Final Fantasy VII, but they realized, no, we really need to give some people some really hard details about this game. I really appreciated how in depth they went into as far as how the combat system is going to work. Like, I feel like I understand how this game is going to play now, not only with just the ATB system and stuff like that, but I really like it's simple. I mean, I don't even know if I would have thought of it, but hey, Barrett has a gun arm. There's enemies that only Barrett can hit, so you actually, it's meaningful. You actually have, it's not just switching to the character you like. You have to use these characters in different ways, and it makes me curious about how like other characters are going to work. What's Red 13's like thing going to be, or Yuffie with her shuriken or whatever. And I'm very excited about the other characters. You know,
they definitely talked us through everything, which just made it that much more appealing.
What I already really like, I think most of all that I'm seeing from the trailer is the more in-depth characterization of some of these characters. I felt just in the little like back and forth between Cloud and Barrett during that boss fight, Cloud has so much personality, and it really comes through with the dialogue and the voice acting. I feel like I'm really excited about it. I really like how when the Scorpion comes out, Barrett immediately goes, "Oh, you're double crosser. You did this." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, right." He doesn't trust him. Like this is all Tifa's doing. The reason he's with them and whatnot. So it's everything that I could have. More than I could have expected, I think, is in this game. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, nice. And then I'm going to read Troy's because he wanted us to make sure he knows. Let it be known, Troy's game of E3 is Watch Dogs Legion. And he really misses not being on that podcast and with his fellow dragons.
Aww.
Nice.
So that's Troy. Yeah, we missed it too, Troy. I can't disagree with Troy. Watch Dogs Legion looked ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good. We already talked in depth about it, but holy crap, that looks great.
Yeah.
They can pull off half of what they already said. Man, it just really sucks that it's 3 days after. After Final Fantasy VII. Oof. But yeah. So any other final thoughts, or that's it? We good? Yes. Well, our Dragon of the Week this week is Zach's pick.
We're going to circle back to the beginning.
All right.
Actually, this was not planned, but everybody was talking about MMOs quite a lot at the beginning of this.
Yes.
I mentioned a few episodes that I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV heavily again, so therefore this is why I wanted to bring this gentleman here. You guys got to see him at E3 at the Square conference. He's kind of a big name amongst the community. I'm going to butcher pronouncing it. Naoki Yoshida, I believe is how you say that first name.
No, it's okay. I'll just say it as quick. Naoki.
Naoki.
Yeah, Naoki.
Yoshida, known by the public as Yoshi-P, is infinitely easier to say.
Yes.
This isn't going to be too long because he's actually fairly young in his career as far as what he's done. Early in his career, he worked on some of the Bomberman games, and that was kind of just like a little bit of work there. I think the first project that he worked on, it only came out in Japan as far as I know, and that was Dragon Quest X.
Yeah.
So we've not even gotten to see that game or experience it in any way. He came pretty much to fame because he is directly credited for rescuing Final Fantasy XIV from its sure demise.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, I've also talked on the game. I played like Final Fantasy XI most of my life, so when 14 came out, obviously I was 100%. I was in like a founding member of that game, and I was just so blissfully in love with Final Fantasy that I just enjoyed the game, and it's not until looking back now, it's like, wow, that game was trash.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely was. I played the beta of that game. Like I was playing, I was like, I like this, and I didn't even buy it though. I played the beta, and I was like, no, I'm not buying this.
I mean, some of the things they were trying to do were great. Like the whole world was seamless.
Yeah.
But they were able to do that because the world was deserted, devoid of mobs. Where me and my friend would be like, oh, we need to go level. Well, I don't know where any mobs are. Like we're running around the zone forever.
Yeah, and then like the quest job system was terrible. Like you could get like one, and then you go out into the world, do that one, you have to run like 20 minutes back to do another one. It was terrible.
It had this super convoluted job system where you would like pick like a job, or like, not the job but the class, like conjurer, thaumaturge, pugilist, stuff like that, and then you would have to level those up in combinations to be able to unlock monk or warrior and stuff like that, which they kind of kept around still now. I mean, it's still there. It's a lot simpler, more streamlined now, but they just had all these systems that were just very archaic and just like, what are you doing? Not intuitive. And probably the worst part of all was in order to play the game, you just had to adapt to the insane server lag. Like 5 seconds of input delay at least per like action put in. Like I'm just trying to describe like the state of this game and how bad it was. And Square was just not willing to like take this because they were like, this Final Fantasy on it. This is literally our namesake, and we will not put up with putting a failure out like this. Like they were already just hemorrhaging money and just losing subscribers just like crazy. But to them it was more important that they salvaged the name of this franchise, even if it meant taking a massive loss on it. So basically what they ended up doing was looking at the staff, which was primarily people who worked on 11, and basically were like, look, I know you guys are like veterans and whatnot, but if you're not willing to compromise on your ways that like made this game this way that was, we got to bring in some new blood to fix this because this is bad. And so they brought in Yoshi-P to head the project of how they were going to fix this. And he didn't really have a plan. He was just kind of thrown in there with this team who was just all demoralized, and they were just we're responsible for destroying like this franchise. Basically, that's what they felt like. People were like just like massive depression in the studio. A lot of this information I got from, I can't even take credit for. If you've heard of No Clip, he did like a 3-part documentary on this, 100% worth watching to get the full details on this. But so Yoshida came in and he's trying to figure out how to fix this. So they start from the basics. It's like looking at what's wrong with the game, what's broken. And at some point he just realized this game is so bad that I don't want to do anything with this anymore. We're just going to make a new video game, which was like insane. Like he had to go to like the board of directors at Square and be like, look, you want me to fix this? This is how we're going to fix this. Like we can't. But then they're also like, well, we do still have people who pay subscriptions for this game. We can't afford to just throw that money away too. So he's, well, we're going to keep this game alive and we're going to build a new game at the same exact time. Like, so we're going to continue to update this game to make it a more pleasant experience for the people who are playing it right now. But without telling anybody, we're going to create a Realm Reborn in the background. And then when that's ready to release, and I can't think of any projects that they've really done this before. And to this day, there's a lot of people who, like with Fallout 76, for example, games that have had really disastrous launches, they're like, this needs to be a Realm Reborn again. Like this, it's become the model for like, okay, you need to fix this. You can't just continue to patch a broken game. And so I think for the next several years, he led this team to make changes, and the game 14.1.0 did get better. But not only did they create this new game, but he thought of like, we're going to create lore implications as to why this game's changing. I got to play through that big boss fight. They kept the stories with the Ascians and whatnot. They kept that there, and they were trying to bring the meteor down on to destroy Eorzea. And that was pretty much the last mission of 1.0, is you trying to prevent the calamity from happening, but ultimately you don't. The calamity destroys Eorzea, well, a good portion of it, and then A Realm Reborn literally picks up after that. And so now when you go into the game, you'll see like in your quest log, like legends from like a time gone past or whatever, and it actually kind of worked out pretty cool. And like there's a lot of people who play A Realm Reborn now, they're like, I want to know what was going on back then. That was crazy. It's really cool. And I really respect the guy a lot. He really had no, like I said, the only thing he worked on in Bomberman, his history and his credit became from, he was just a gamer like us. Because a lot of these Western MMOs are not prevalent in Japan, but he was going out of his way to like, he told stories in interviews about what he would have to do to go through lengths to get access to like Ultima or EverQuest and World of Warcraft, and he played all these games, and he was the first guy at Square to like, hey, we got to swallow our pride. Like World of Warcraft is the best MMO in the planet, so why would we not try to copy what they're doing? And it's worked. 14 is, I think, I don't have the exact numbers, but I mean, WoW is still number 1, but I think 14 is probably the second most subscribed, and it's continuing to go through the roof with the latest expansion coming out. And obviously there's a lot of individuals who were responsible for like rescuing this game, but if they didn't have somebody like him who was crazy enough to come up with this idea and fight for it at Square to say, and now 14 is one of the most reliable moneymakers for Square Enix. So I have the utmost respect for the guy. And when you watch interviews with him, he raids regularly in the game. He plays his game. Wow. He understands. He's with the community, and he cares a lot about you talked earlier how complicated it is to make an MMO that's successful, and he cares not only about the hardcore community but making an MMO for people who can just drop in when new content comes out and then pop back out.
Wow,
And,
that's nice.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, and he's still super young in his career, and I think if they ever let him walk away from 14, he could make some really cool stuff, and so
Nice.
I'm really
That's
excited
awesome.
for what he does.
Was he the one that we watched the interview of the other day?
He put out probably my favorite interview from this E3.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, like I said, he's very knowledgeable. He plays the game, so he can speak in the very fine details. But my favorite interview question that got asked was, World of Warcraft is very fond of its history, and they're coming out with the classic. And so, is there any chance that we would see some sort of server that would? And he understood enough English. He started laughing hysterically like a madman.
Yeah.
And then finally he quit. He just goes, "Nightmare." it was really good.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor, and he's like the guy that you like look to as like Microsoft as their guy or whatnot. Like he's our guy for 14.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and I really appreciate him, respect him for making this game what it is. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially to have that type of, we're just gonna start over.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? We're not gonna fix this. We're gonna just.
Yeah, we can't. There's no fixing.
There's no
this.
fixing a broken thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've heard that a lot about, not to run this too long, but I've heard that a lot from like developers, and that's like a hard thing to do where
Yeah.
you take 3 years to make something and you just gotta, no, this isn't working. You just gotta make something new now.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's unbearable sometimes.
That's what happened with Blizzard and Overwatch. They were making their MMO before then.
They were.
That's where
yeah.
Tracer came from. They're
Yeah.
like, well, this isn't working.
MMOs
Just
are
scrap
working,
it.
guys.
I mean, they've done that multiple times with the Nova game as well, the first-person shooter.
But a great game came out of that
Yeah.
for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what you just got to do. Sometimes you just got to be like, this isn't working. This is not
Yeah.
what we're going to do.
Do you think they realized that for Anthem?
I hope so, but I don't think they have.
No,
Yet.
not yet.
And I think nowadays, because I think that's the golden banner, especially for MMOs. The thing not to do is from Star Wars Galaxies with their new crafting system. The thing to do is with Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. But I think nowadays also it's along the lines of like No Man's Sky, where No Man's Sky, I think that's what it is with like Fallout 76 and all these other games where it's like, oh, well, if we just keep working at it like No Man's Sky, it could actually be what we want it to be. And so I respect any game that continues on after they have a disastrous start.
I wish they'd do it a little more like that, like we were talking about earlier with Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's just that if you can't meet the date and then you have to push it out, I'd rather you say we're pushing it out because we want to be respectful to our employees
rather
and we
wait.
want to give you a good game.
Yeah.
So don't give me the broken game.
Yeah.
Give me the game 6 months from now when it's the game that I want.
Exactly.
Take that time and have it be good, because I feel like they roll out, it's terrible, and then they have to like beg you to come back. I was like, that's not the
Yeah.
best experience.
It's one thing if you're running out of money and you have to do it. And there's another thing if it's like, well, we need to make our stockholders happy. It's like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
It was funny because the thing that made me actually like pull the trigger on the Fallout 76 was I looked up at a Best Buy. I get my 20% off. It's already $30 because it's half off. And then they still had the steelbooks that they only were giving away at launch originally. So enough people canceled their pre-orders that they still had these steelbooks. So I was like, okay, that's
That's a sign.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
That's what did it for you. Well, nice. How old is the guy, by the way? Do you happen to know?
I believe he's like 44, something like that.
Oh, especially for a Japanese developer, that's super young to be
Yeah.
in charge of anything. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, nice. Good Dragon of the Week.
That was some good D, man. Good D.
Dragon of the Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that D.
Troy's not here.
Dragon of the week. Do, do, do.
Dragon of the Week. So, nicely done. So I guess now I can do my ending.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode's so long.
It is.
E3.
That
It's
E3
E3,
stuff.
it
It's that
had
E.
Yeah. So once again, we film live upstairs in Tate's Comics, at least for us, not for you. Woohoo. We are powered by our friends, the 3000 Brigade.
Yeah.
They're our favorites.
The best.
You can find us on social media, on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, our website, tasteofdragons.com,
The tweeters.
the Twitters. Yeah, all those fun places. Once again, my name is Brian. You can find me online, but good luck.
My name is Lewis. You can also find me online, but try. I don't know.
I have been and will continue to be Mandy.
I'm Zach. My PSN ID, as always, is David Slayer, Daeva, and the other part I'm sure you can spell.
Slay her.
I believe in you. Yeah, it's dumb. I know.
And then I'm Katelyn. You can find me anywhere pretty much as Penny Lane DC.
Nice. Almost anywhere.
Almost everywhere. Don't worry about the other places.
That's right. We didn't talk about Nancy Drew this week.
No.
She wasn't at E3.
I know. Because her game's not coming out this
Her
year.
game is coming out. I am pre-ordering it October 1st. This is happening, and you all are playing it with me.
It's gonna be Animal Crossing. It's gonna be March 20th
They
next
already
year.
delayed it so many times, Brian. They can't
It's
anymore.
gonna be March 20th. You're gonna have to decide
They
Nancy
can.
Drew or Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll be on my 3rd playthrough of Nancy Drew by then at least.
Sophie's choice over here. What are you gonna do?
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Well, have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.